Show. We've missed this lady on the show for a long time. She's one of the best sports betting analysts on ESPN and anywhere. She's on ESPN Bet Monday through Friday. You can also catch her on Anita on the Mark, her podcast. And Anita Marks joins us now on the hotline. Anita, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, so give me kind of the rundown for you. 3-2 Knicks. Get beat by 25 by the Celtics. What happened in Game 5? What can they do in Game 6 so that they don't go to Boston for a Game 7?
Yeah, they need to shoot better than 36% from the field for one. I mean, listen, that Game 5 was a disaster. Let's be honest. Shooting 36% from the field. Towns limited because of foul trouble. Brunson fouling out. Just not the typical clutch Knicks team that we saw all series. But here's the thing, and I'm going to circle this back to you. Like, are you surprised that they lost? Because I wasn't. Like, a part of me was feeling like, oh, Tatum's down. This team's going to rally behind him. Derek White, Jaylen Brown, they're going to ball out. Sure enough, they did, right? 22 three-pointers. They shot 53% from the field. I don't know, do we want to go into the defensive strategy of one Jaylen Brown grabbing at family jewels? I don't know. Like, I didn't have that on my bingo card for Game 5, but nonetheless, it didn't surprise me that Boston came out and balled out, I guess.
Yeah, I think being at home helped the emotional lift. I don't know how it will be returning to kind of the scene of where he blew out his Achilles and kind of still feeling, looking at him in a hospital bed. But these guys, they're thinking next man up. I thought Peyton Pritchard had a great game. I thought he was going to get more minutes, and he shot really well from 3 in that Game 5. The bench did pretty well point-wise. I honestly, I was surprised because I think the Knicks are better defensively than that Game 5. I was surprised that they, like you said, Karl Anthony Towns, he's been in foul trouble a couple of times in this series. But I'm kind of shocked at a couple of the other guys. Bridges, a newbie. Those guys, to me, they've got to be in double figures, and they got to play better defense.
Yeah, it's interesting. Let's keep in mind, coming into this, we knew that Boston won all 4 games against the Knicks. But Mitch Robinson was not active in 3 of those 4. In the one that he was active in, and that was the last one, they won, but they took it into overtime. So it was very close. I think having Mitch Robinson back, even though he's a horrible free throw shooter, having him on the court is all the difference in the way that they can match up against Boston. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tibbs comes in and the starting lineup is Mitch Robinson and Towns on the court at the same time. Would not be shocked by that. And then have why am I drawing a blank? Josh Hart come off the bench.
Oh yeah, Josh Hart's been great.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised that could be the formula for success tonight.
Talking to Anita Marks from ESPN Bet. ESPN Bet has plus 2.5 for the Knicks and over under 210.5. Do you like either one of those?
So I think, listen, I think New York has to do it tonight, right? Like, again, not shocked that Boston came out and played unbelievable basketball. Again, Jaylen Brown had a career night. Can he do that again? I think it's hard to get that crumped up. The Garden is going to be insane.
It should be.
I think there's a lot of Knicks fans who know that this is where the series will be won. I don't think Knicks fans feel confident or comfortable that if Knicks lose this game, they go back to Boston, that they still have a chance. So I think it's all or nothing. I think Knicks fans feel that way. I wouldn't be surprised if Knicks players and Knicks coaches feel that way. Boston, I'm sure, feels that way. I just think this has been a Knicks team that, come crunch time, they've delivered. So I'm going to go with the Knicks. I'm going to play them on the money line. Also, I like the over. The over-under right now is at 210. Both games 4 and 5 went over. I think a lot of points are going to be scored tonight. I think this is a Boston team. As you mentioned, Pritchard and Derek White from downtown, they've just been money. So I like the over at 210. And my favorite prop bet here is Jaylen Brown over 25.5 points. Again, I think he's going to have to have another career night. I think he feels like it's all on his shoulders because Tatum's gone. And I see him scoring anywhere between 28 to 32 points tonight.
Another one of your fields of expertise is horse racing. Preakness is this weekend. Only have 9, which is kind of disappointing. Obviously, Sovereignty is not racing, but Journalism is. Sandman is. What do you like about this race, and what do you don't like? And who do you think maybe the top 3 horses should be in this race?
Yeah, I think it's important. It's kind of like a cross. 20 in that you want Sovereignty to race, right? Because who doesn't each and every year want the potential of a Triple Crown winner? But I respect the ownership group, and I respect the trainer to say, listen, we're going to take the Preakness off, and we're going to let this horse rest, and we're going to get him ready for the Belmont Stakes. I know that disappoints a lot of people. Because it is one of I think, the most difficult things to do of any athlete, and I do look at these horses as athletes, to win a Triple Crown. But I respect the decision for Sovereignty not to race in the Preakness. There are only 3 horses that race in the Derby that are going to be racing in the Preakness: American Promise, Journalism, and Sandman. Journalism was favored in the Kentucky Derby. He will be favored again, and rightfully so. Now, he ran a great race in the Derby, just unfortunately, Sovereignty just was the better horse that day. So this is a small field, only 9 horses, like you said. His pedigree, his speed, he should dominate. But you're not, you bet Journalism, Dibs, you're not going to make money. So how can you make money? I'm looking at 2 other horses that I like. The 8 horse, who's Clever Again. This horse is really, really special. This horse has been kissed by God. It's a unique animal with a boatload of talent. I believe Clever Again is the second best horse in this race. Son of American Pharaoh, who, as we know, won the Triple Crown. Has a great trainer. Is uber fast. Is in great form, and I'm hearing has been training really well. So I really like the 8 horse Clever Again, and then I also like the 1 horse Goal Oriented. That's a Bob Baffert horse. Has one of the best jockeys on his back in Flavien Prat. Has the speed to come out of the 1 post. I think he's going to be sent really hard, and this is his 3rd race. So, and he's gotten only better in race 1 to 2, and then now the expectation is for him to really do well in 3. So this is how I'm playing it. Again, I really love Clever Again. That's the 8 horse. I'm going to play Clever Again to win or place. Right now, he's at 5-1. So win or place, what does that mean in layman's terms? It means I think he's going to finish 1st or 2nd. More than likely 2nd. Like I said, I do believe Journalism wins this race. And then I'm going to play an exacta box with Journalism, the 2 horse, Clever Again, the 8 horse, and Goal Oriented, the 1 horse, for 2 of those 3 horses to finish 1st and 2nd. So I'm going to play an exacta box with the 1, 2, 8.
Talking to Anita Marks.
Did you get all? Did you write
I did. I circled 1, 2, and 8, and I know that both of my co-hosts here are doing the same thing. Anita Marks, Anita on the Mark podcast. You've been covering the P. Diddy, the Puffy Combs case, and I know you're doing that on YouTube and your Instagram and all that kind of stuff, and people can pick up your podcast wherever. What are your thoughts on this so far? Is it as juicy as they said it was going to be?
So very interesting, right? So as you know, all sports, but just because I'm into sports, who doesn't love true crime?
Absolutely.
I don't know about you. I'm home. There's no sporting event going on. What are you going to do? Oh, let's pull up a crime documentary. Ooh, that's what I go for. I knew I was going to follow this trial, regardless if I was covering it, talking about it or not. And my very dear friend who I went to college with, Nevin Shapiro, who unfortunately went to jail for 20 years in a Ponzi scheme, was in the same building, same cell, as P. Diddy in Brooklyn, knows a lot of the players here in regards to like attorneys and FBI agents. And he contacted me and we said, hey, listen, let's do a podcast. Why not? What do we have to lose?
Great.
And it's uber successful. It's insane the numbers I'm getting. So you can listen on my podcast. It's On the Mark, Anita On the Mark. So you can see it on YouTube and of course follow on Apple. But really, this week was Cassie Ventura, and of course that's the girl that of course we've all seen the video time and time again of Diddy beating her up on the hotel floor, and it's her testimony, and I find it really interesting. What she testified about is horrific. The things that he made her do, but also in what the defense team did, and they did quite well, is show her in a light that she was open, willing, and agreed to a lot of the acts and the things that she did with Diddy. And now it's up to, and they proved that in the cross-examination, a number of the text messages that she had to share in court with the jury yesterday and today, that she was a full participant and willing and able and wanting to participate in these freak-offs. Now it's going to be the prosecution's responsibility now, and apparently they did do a redirect this afternoon to really explain the state of mind she was in when she sent these text messages to P. Diddy about being, again, excited, quote unquote, about these freak-offs. So it right now, this week, it's all about the perception of their number one witness, Cassie Ventura, because so much, I think, is going to be relying on her testimony. And did Diddy's defense team do enough to show that, the charges that are against him, the prosecution is not proving? It's going to be really, really interesting. Keep in mind, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And next week, we have two more witnesses / victims that are going to testify. Will the prosecution at that point show consistency here in what they experienced with Diddy? That's really going to be this big storyline next week.
Did you know Cassie Ventura was from Connecticut? I bet a lot of our listeners didn't. She is. She launched her R&B career out of the state of Connecticut. So I didn't know that until I just was reading some stuff while you were saying that. How old is Cassie Ventura? How did she even get involved with P. Diddy to begin with?
I don't know how old she is off the top of my head, but I know she is much younger than him. I know that they were in a relationship for 11 years. I know that the relationship started because she wanted a career in music, and
right.
She signed to his record label. And she said on trial that she fell in love with him. And at one point in time, they were in love, and then things just really got wild and crazy and violent as the years progressed. So, like I said, this case is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm shooting another episode, actually, in about 20 minutes with another attorney and Nevin Shapiro, who I'm doing the podcast with, and I'm really intrigued. Her name is Judy Germano, and she's a prosecutor. She was a Fed prosecutor for 11 years. I'm really interested to get her thoughts. And after a week, who's winning right now, right? Did the prosecution do enough with her testimony? Did the defense do enough by not going after her and being aggressive with her, but more painting a picture of, hey, you were willing, you were able, you as well look forward to these freak-offs. Who's winning in the eyes of the legal experts right now? And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Can't wait for that new podcast to come out. Thank you so much for your time, Anita Marks. We love you when you come on the show, and Listen, I'm a true crime guy myself. That's all I read when I go on vacation. In fact, I'm reading one about the Irish mob and New York horse racing, including Saratoga. So, I mean, it's there's a lot of stuff around here that is fantastic, and it's not just it is true crime, but it's also sports at the same time, right?
Yeah, I will. Just one last thing that I'm really proud about what we're doing here is that every episode we have an attorney or an FBI agent, somebody more professional in this field. This isn't about rehashing what was said in court. It's more of, okay, this is what was said, but what is your take? How is the prosecution or how is the defense team going to react? What can we anticipate? Should he have taken a plea deal? Should he not? Why is the jury majority men and the average age late 50s, early 60s? Very few African Americans. Like we're this is what I really here's the thing. I want people, when they're done listening to this show and we're releasing 2 episodes a week, that you walk away and going, oh, okay, like you're more in the know and you feel more knowledgeable in regard to everything that's transpiring. That's really our goal here. And I really appreciate you listening. Thank you so much, Dib.
You are the best. Anita Marks, thank you very much.
All right, you have a great weekend.
You too. Anita Marks, everybody. You can catch her on ESPN Bet during the week and her Anita on the Mark podcast. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, do First Dibs question of the day.
91.